Welcome to the September Garden Calendar. In this episode, we'll look at what plants are in flower. We'll discuss fertilizing strawberries and fescue lawns. Our video segment will feature planting landscape plants and fall vegetables. We'll talk about spraying peach trees for borers, inspecting fall vegetable plants for insects and diseases, controlling young winter annual weeds and white grubs in your lawn. We will have a video segment discussing the proper steps for renovating your lawn. We will discuss dividing bulbs and other landscape plants and cover other additional tasks. All this and more in the September Garden Calendar. Plants in flower this month are crepe myrtle, rose of Sharon, dahlia, canna, ginger lily, chrysanthemum, spider lily, fall crocus, liriope, sedum, asters, goldenrod, joe pye weed, and still our summer annuals. This month, you can fertilize your strawberry plants in late September to improve your quality and yield for next spring. Also, we need to fertilize our fescue lawns at 1/2 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. So that does vary on the blend you're using on how much you use, but that's 1/2 pound of nitrogen, which would equate to about 5 pounds of 10-10-10 per 1,000 square feet, or 2.5 to 3 pounds of 777 per 1,000 square feet.
So are you needing another tree or a few more shrubs in your landscape? Well, now's the time to put them there. Late September, October, and early November are the best months of the year to plant most woody ornamentals and herbaceous perennials. The fact that there is usually ample rainfall and that the evaporation rate is lower this time of year yields plenty of moisture in the soil for plant establishment. Also, the roots of most plants continue to grow and take up nutrients as long as the soil temperature is above 40 degrees. Thus, most days during the fall, winter, and early spring allow root growth. A little phosphorus fertilizer, such as O46O, bone meal, or other similar blend added to planting encourages root growth during this time of year. Do not add any nitrogen fertilizer at this time. Thus, with a larger root system established by spring, the plants are ready to shoot up with aggressive stem and leaf growth. When planting in the fall, it is advisable to apply a 3-inch layer of mulch after planting to help avoid extreme temperature variations, which could damage new roots close to the surface. Container or balled and burlap plants are best for planting. The hole should be dug at least twice the width of the root ball and only as deep as the root ball is high. After placing the plant in the hole, backfill with the same dirt that came out of the hole, add in your phosphorus fertilizer if you wish. An exception here would be for rhododendron or azaleas, as they would require additional organic compost or peat moss added to the backfill. The roots of containerized plants should be loosened or cut if they are circling the root ball. For balled and burlap trees, cover natural burlap with soil, but remove synthetic or preservative-treated burlap and wires, straps, or strings. Remove or fold down the top half of the wire basket. Your plant should be at ground level or 1 inch above, as it will probably settle a little. Plants planted below ground level will often die a slow death. Water plants thoroughly upon completion and occasionally during dry periods, especially if it becomes dry shortly after planting. Stake large trees for their first year after planting. Form a circular dirt berm 3 or so inches high around the outside of the refilled holes so as to hold rainfall in this area so it won't run off. Soak down on the roots. Now apply your 3-inch layer of mulch. Now that was easy. Your trees and shrubs will be ready to burst forth with great growth next spring. And your survivability will be much greater than spring planted trees and shrubs that have to fight our dry summers while trying to get established. And another good reason to plant trees and shrubs now is that some nurseries and home and garden centers lower their prices this time of year. These centers try to reduce their stock so as to not have to provide warmth and shelter during the winter months. With all these reasons to plant, why wait?
Planting a fall vegetable garden. Now that the summer garden has almost finished producing, it is time to get ready to plant the fall vegetable garden. Try to remember the following brief reminders about fall gardening. Several crops must be planted by mid-September in order to properly mature. Till garden soil at least 2 weeks prior to planting to allow organic matter to decompose. Plant fall vegetable seed 1/2 to 2 times as deep as spring crops. Thin vegetable seedlings to proper plant spacing when the soil is moist. Keep soil irrigated during dry weather. A good organic mulch such as leaves and compost will help conserve moisture. Side dress vegetables about midway of maturity to promote rapid and continuous growth. Apply side dressing fertilizer to vegetables that bear fruit after blooming starts. Since insect and disease pressure is usually higher in the fall, control them with sprays rather than dust if needed. The following vegetables may be grown in the fall garden: snap beans, beets, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, carrots, collards, cucumber, kale, kohlrabi, leaf lettuce, mustard, radish, rutabaga, spinach, turnip, squash, and southern peas. So with that, it's time to get out there and plant that fall garden. As far as spraying goes this month, we need to spray a dormant oil for peach tree borers on your nectarine and peach tree trunks. You need to keep a close eye on all fall vegetable plants, as insects and diseases are more severe in late summer. Henbit, chickweed, wild onions, and other winter and annual weeds will begin to grow soon, so start your pre-emergent weed management program in mid-September to prevent their appearance this winter. Also, homeowners can apply an insecticide for lawn grubs in early September if needed. Let's look at renovating your lawn. Want to get that lawn renovated and looking right once and for all? Lawn renovation is the improvement of an existing lawn without completely reestablishing it. Turf grass renovation is necessary when the existing turf grass has declined to a point where culture practices will not revive the turf. The complete reestablishment is unnecessary. This is undertaken when half of the turf stand is still desirable. Well, here are some tips to help you in this fall's lawn renovation. First of all, for Alexander County, the ideal time to sow grass seed is September through mid-October. Seeding beyond these dates increases the chance of failure caused by winter injury, so it's time to get busy. Here we are in step-by-step process. Step 1. Determine what caused the lawn to fail. Planting grass into a problem area without understanding a cause of that problem may result in another failed lawn. Figure it out and fix the problem. Step 2. Have your soil tested. Contact our extension office for soil sampling materials and direction. Step 3. Eliminate all your undesirable weeds or turf grass species. Identify the weeds for proper control. Our Extension Center will help in the identification and control recommendations. Be aware that some weed control chemicals require a waiting period between the time of herbicide application and planting. The chemical label includes information about proper application. Step 4. Mow the area lower than normal and remove the clippings, leaves, and other debris by sweeping or raking. Step 5. Remove excessive thatch. Thatch is a layer of partially decomposed plant material that builds up on the soil surface. Usually more than 1/2 inch of thatch on general turf areas decreases turf vigor by restricting the movement of air, water, fertilizer, and pesticides into the soil. Excessive thatch also restricts root development and provides a suitable environment for insects and disease pests. Thatch can be removed by a vertical mower or other means of dethatching, such as a power rake. This equipment is often available from rental companies. Step 6. Cultivate the soil by coring or tilling to relieve soil compaction. A coring machine that removes the soil core is most effective. After coring, use a mower to help break up the soil cores brought to the surface. Coring is best done when the soil is moist because the tines will penetrate deeper. Step 7. Apply fertilizer and lime according to the soil test results. Step 8. Sow your new grass seed in the area. You may want to adjust the planting rates to agree with the percentage already in turf. For example, if half the area has good turf, reduce the recommended planting rate by half. For tall fescue, the reseeding rate is 2 pounds of seed per 1,000 square foot. Be sure to get good seed-to-soil contact when planting by seed. Rake the seed into the soil or cover it by top dressing with a thin layer of soil. When seeding into vegetation, drag the seed into the slits using an old carpet or such. In any case, firm the soil by light rolling. A light mulching is necessary when there is little existing grass or where erosion may be a problem. Step 9. Apply water immediately after planting and keep the soil moist, not wet, until the seedlings have become well established. This usually requires light daily waterings for 2 or 3 weeks. Step 10. If quick vegetative establishment is needed to prevent erosion, you can add 1 to 2 pounds of annual rye per 1,000 square feet into the seed mixture. And step 11, mow the grass when it reaches 1.5 times its recommended height. And let's do it right this year. Save yourself a lot of frustration. For more information on lawn renovation and care, contact our Extension Center or go to www.turffiles.ncsu.edu. There are several additional tasks for the month of September. First of all, spring flowering bulbs can be divided and replanted this month. Daffodils will be the bulb that most likely needs this consideration. Also, we can divide our peonies in the month of September. We need to clean up our garden sprayers and lawn equipment if not in use any longer. Also, prepare your house plants to re-enter your home. Start checking them carefully, insects and pests, and start moving them into the home. Remember, our earliest frost date is usually mid-October. If you do not have a fall vegetable garden, it's a good time to remove or till under your dead vegetable plants. You can deadhead your spent flowers and remove old diseased foliage to rejuvenate flowering annuals and perennials that are overcome by this summer's heat and humidity. Plant a cover crop to improve your garden soil. Good cover crops include crimson or red clover, hairy vetch, and rye grain. Also, there are many different species of goldenrod and asters blooming in September, and they're excellent sources of nectar for honeybees and butterflies. Note, your beehives may have a sour odor due to honeybees collecting this nectar. Also, now is the time to plan for next year's spring flowering bulbs. Browse your catalogs and place your spring bulb orders now. But do not plant the bulbs in September. Wait for the arrival of cooler weather in late October and November to plant these bulbs. Well, we hope you've enjoyed our garden calendar. If you have questions, call us at 632-4451 or visit us at our website at alexanderextension.com, where there's lots of helpful information and events, and you can also sign up for a monthly newsletter there. That's alexanderextension.com, or stop by and visit us at the Alexander County Service Center at 151 West Main Avenue. Hope to hear from you soon.